Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you enjoy ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. Okay, so today I am doing a review on Joe Malone's Mimosa and Cardamom. I purchased this recently off of eBay, and it came in a set with like another sample and also a little sample of this peony and blush suede lotion cream. So yeah, honestly, I totally blind bought this, meaning I'd never smelled it before, not even in stores, which I know I could have done that, but I really wanted to get a hold of a fragrance that had mimosa in it, and this one obviously is an easy to buy, easy to find one with mimosa, so I thought I would just go ahead and I thought I'd go ahead and purchase it, and so I did. Anyway, I feel like I spent a little bit too much. I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna come with this and the sample. Yeah, I spent too much, seeing as it's like almost half gone. But anyway, I do really like this, and I think that I'm going to keep it, which is kind of a big deal for me because I have so many fragrances. Yeah, so I will go over the main accords and the notes that we have on Fragrantica for this fragrance. I also have 3 other Jo Malone fragrances in my collection. This is Wood, Sage, and Sea Salt. This one is Orange Blossom Cologne. Both of these are in the 1 ounce as well. And then I have a little 9 milliliter mini of Orange Bitters, which is such a cute bottle. I love these ones. So anyway, I'll touch on those briefly, but we'll start off first with Mimosa and Cardamom. This is the little box that it came in. Okay, so and I tried to dress on theme. I wore yellow since Mimosa is a yellow floral, and I also wore this kind of beigey, soft shawl thing. Mimosa is also kind of like powdery and cozy feel a bit. It can have that. So I thought this would kind of go well, and some gold and white pearl earrings. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spray this fragrance and let it dry down, and then I'll smell it. I also am wearing it today, so I'm very familiar with the scent because I've been wearing it all day. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a moment to fully dry down because you can smell quite a bit of alcohol initially. So I had an idea of what mimosa smelled like, but I don't think I'd ever smelled a fragrance yet that was dominant in mimosa, so that's why I was really interested to get my hands on one that was dominant in mimosa, which this one is. It only has 3 notes and the only floral is mimosa, so that's why I wanted to try it out, and it just looked good overall to me. Okay. So this is definitely, it's a powdery floral. It's powdery and also a bit soapy. It comes through to me in a somewhat old-fashioned or vintage way, but in a way that's very likable and pleasing to me, and I think would be pleasing to some people at least. I could see that this might be a very polarizing scent. I think some people will just flat out not like it, so just be warned that I don't think this is necessarily a safe blind buy, even though I blind bought it safely. But yeah, so the Mimosa is giving a powdery, slightly soapy, vintage kind of smell. And then there's like a general warmth coming through from this fragrance, I believe coming also from the cardamom note. So there's kind of like a warm spiciness, honestly, to me, comes through almost a little bit more like anise or licorice versus cardamom. Yeah, it honestly smells more like anise to me, kind of odd. And honestly, the first thing when I smelled this too is that I thought it smelled like what my memory of Angelica is. So almost a bit like green, herbally, rooty. So it seems like the the Mimosa might have some interesting nuances that are like a little green or a little aromatic or almost a little honey. And when I looked up what Mimosa smells like, that's kind of what it was saying. It can have some interesting nuances or facets like honey or hay or almost a little green or bright or zesty. So apparently it can smell like all sorts of things. Okay, so that's my first impression. I think it's a warm, powdery, soapy, floral, but it's got the warmth from the cardamom, and I think the only other note is tonka bean. So the warmth, slightly vanilla touch of the tonka bean. I really like it, but I don't think it's a safe blind buy. Okay, so I'm on Fragrantica, and I'm going to go ahead and read the main accords that we have listed. So we have yellow floral, warm spicy, powdery, sweet, aromatic, floral, vanilla, amber. So yeah, I agree. I get the yellow floral, the warm spicy, the powdery. It's not overly sweet to me, but it's a little sweet. I get a little aromatic and a little ambery vanilla. It's definitely unique. I have never smelled anything quite like this. The closest that I could compare this to is by the brand Sylvain Delacourt, and they have a fragrance called Smeraldo, Smeraldo. I'm so bad at spelling, out of my mind. I'm so bad. Smeraldo by Sylvain Delacourt. It's a powdery, musky green fragrance, and I believe it has Angelica, and that's why I feel like these smell so similar. But yeah, so those are the main accords, and then looking at the notes, which are super simple, and yeah, I already mentioned them. So top note we have is cardamom, middle note we have is mimosa, and then the base note is tonka bean. So altogether, yeah, it's a warm floral with powdery soapy nuances, and to me a bit of a green herbal nuance. Not what I expected, but I really like it. I honestly really like it. I think I'm gonna keep it for now, at least. I feel like it's a good fall winter smell for me. Also spring. The only season I don't feel like this would work well in is summer. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a little detour. I want to talk a little bit more about mimosa and cardamom, but first I will just take a detour and tell you briefly about my other 3 Jo Malone scents. So here is wood, sage, and sea salt. This one is a classic. It's one of their best sellers, if not maybe their best. I don't know what their best is. I think this is in the top 5 though. It's very fresh. It says wood, sage, and sea salt, and so it's got those notes. I don't know if it actually has a wood note, but it's got sea salt, it's got sage, it's got grapefruit, which makes it all much fresher, musk. And so yeah, I just think like you're walking on the coast and you get some sea breeze. To me, it's more coastal and less tropical beachy. It's not tropical, nothing sunscreeny about it. Think freshly saltwater charged coastal air. Super pretty, fresh, love it. Slightly unisex, but I would say feminine leaning. And then the other 1 ounce bottle that I have is called Orange Blossom by Jo Malone. This to me is a very simple, straightforward, beautiful orange blossom scent. So yeah, you get what the name is, Orange Blossom. It does have other notes. It has, in addition to orange blossom, it has tangerine blossom, lilac, water lily, iris, and vetiver. So it's mostly florals with the addition of vetiver. But honestly, I really mostly get what to me reads as orange blossom and tangerine blossom. And I think the tangerine blossom or something adds what feels like an actual citrus note. Like, to me, this would be more believable if there was actually like just a tangerine note. Not tangerine blossom, but it almost smells like there's like the juice in here too, the flower and the juice. So it's a little bit sweet, it's floral, it's just very fresh. So yeah, if you're a fan of orange or orange blossom, it's nice. And honestly, I don't tend to love orange blossom. In a lot of modern fragrances, at least, I notice that it can be overly sweet, it can be bubblegummy, and I don't love that. But I do love this. Okay, and then another orange centered fragrance is Orange Bitters by Jo Malone. I love this tiny size, and this one is different, definitely a different take on a citrus. Let's see, I forgot to pull it up. Orange Bitters. Yeah, different take on orange. So we have orange. It's kind of like, think like a Christmas or a holiday orange. So it's like an ambery orange. It's not sweet. It does have the bitter orange note. Altogether, it doesn't come off as bitter, but it's not a sweet orange, not like super juicy. It's almost more of like a dried orange, like a dried, dusty orange. Like, think dried out orange that you would like have as a garland on a Christmas tree or something. Is that the right word? Garland. But anyway, so it's got bitter orange as well as orange, mandarin orange, citruses, and plum, dried plum. I don't really get dried plum, I just get the like citrus notes. Then it also has sandalwood and amber, and I definitely get the sandalwood and amber. The sandalwood comes through in a dry, woody way, a little bit powdery. And then there's amber, which just adds a nice, slightly resiny depth. So it's a nice pairing of citrus, woodiness, and ambery notes. Not sweet, very unisex. I think good for holidays, or I feel like this would be a good scent for a room. So like a good candle or room spray. So that's Orange Bitters. Okay, and then back to Mimosa and Cardamom. So I'm on Fragrantica, and this has, that has a better rating than I thought. It has an overall rating of 4.11 out of 5 with 2,887 votes. So that's a pretty good rating. Honestly, I'm surprised. And it was launched in 2015. I'm also surprised by that. I just thought, based off the smell, it was like an early 2000s launch, because it does smell a little vintage to me. But yeah, that was only like 10 years ago, and it seems to be well loved. Okay, let's read some pros and cons that Fragrantica has provided us. They say pros: warm, fresh, and spicy feel with clean floral aroma. Intoxicatingly light, sweet, elegant scent with deeper sensual cardamom. I do think it's an elegant or sophisticated scent. It's definitely different, and it smells to me just a little luxury, I would say. Okay, pleasant and a linear fragrance, perfect for cooler autumn or springtime. Instant happiness upon application. That's a funny thing to say. But, you know, Mimosa's yellow, and I feel like color theory would say that yellow is a happy fragrance, and I don't know. It does make me happy. Okay, cons, Fragrantica says not suitable for those seeking deeper, darker, or heavier scents. I agree. I don't think it's deep, dark, or heavy. Not much cardamom presence on some skin types. Yeah, honestly, it just doesn't. I get the spiciness, but like I said, to me it comes through more like anise and not cardamom. Very little longevity and no complexity. It has lasted okay on me so far today. It's been about 6 hours, but I did spray on my clothing, not my skin. Okay, let's read a few reviews from people. Okay, so somebody says, clean and soapy. Unfortunately, the performance is typical Jo Malone. Well, they are called colognes, so colognes do have a lower percentage of the fragrance compounds, so that's what I would expect with a cologne. Somebody says, this is my favorite Jo Malone fragrance and one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Despite the cologne formulation, I can smell it on myself all day. It is soapy, but the cardamom adds some complexity. Somebody says, it has a great opening on me, and I guess that's why I got it. Then something changes on my skin and it becomes unpleasant. Not terribly, but I feel it lightly. I get something like gym smell. I've given it many tries, but unfortunately, we don't belong together. That's a funny way of putting it. Okay, let's see if I can find someone who does not like it. Well, this person likes it. They says, I'm on my second bottle. I think it's a perfect signature scent for someone who does not want to overwhelm others with their perfume, but wants to be remembered by a scent. Such a sweet, cozy, and beautiful floral, creamy scent. I would not say it's unisex, as I think it leans very much to the feminine side. Yeah, I agree. Okay, somebody who does not like it. Okay, here we go. I have a 1-ounce bottle of this one, Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom. I just bought the Mimosa fragrance, just isn't my thing. I'm willing to swap it. PM me if you are interested. Wonder if I could get something more specific than that. Specifically why somebody doesn't like it besides Mimosa. They say, this was a blind buy for me. I love the idea of the cardamom as a top note. Maybe it's just my skin, but I don't smell much cardamom, only sometimes, slightly in the beginning, then it disappears. It's overall quite a strong, clean, soapy scent. So if you like that, then it's perfect for cooler autumn or springtime. Mimosa and cardamom strangely reminds me of another Jo Malone scent that I used to have, French Lime Blossom, although I don't quite know why. Okay, so we read some reviews, we went over the notes, and yeah, that's my review of this fragrance. I do like it myself. I am going to be keeping it for the time being, but I am trying to let go of some fragrances. So yeah, I'm trying to resell some fragrances. It's hard, but there's a few that I'm just going to be letting go of. You know, that's how it goes. Okay, everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sending you all peace, love, harmony, and beauty. and I will catch you all again soon. Okay, bye.